for the final project, it is split into basically 3 milestones or 3 phases. By the end of the semester, what you are going to have is a main page with links to 3 different games. One of the games is going to use HTML5, Canvas, and JavaScript. One game is going to use jQuery. And then the third game can use either HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, jQuery, or you can also include an API. So it's going to be kind of your choice. The games can be original, or you can remake an existing game. Do not copy someone else's game and use it as your own, because that would be plagiarism and you would get a 0. And I know there's a lot of tutorials out there that you can just kind of walk through and create a game using. If you don't make it your own and you're just using somebody else's code, that is plagiarism. Okay, so where appropriate, you're going to create, functions, methods, objects, repetition structure, selection structure, okay, where appropriate. So it just depends on the game that you are creating. So the technology that you have to use is HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, and jQuery. If you use an API, you'll also use AJAX. You cannot use the other JavaScript frameworks or CSS frameworks. So you can't use Bootstrap, Angular, Ember, React, Vue, Backbone, or any of the other 100 JavaScript frameworks. You can't use the CSS frameworks. You can't use other languages. You can't use Node.js or PHP. Okay, so if you use any of those, then you're not showing me that you've mastered the objectives of this course. If you want data to persist, let's say you've incorporated levels into your game, you can actually use local storage for that. There is a rubric that I will show you closer to the end of the semester that kind of outlines what you get points for. But basically, as long as you're using JavaScript, jQuery, HTML5, CSS3, you've created an HTML5 Canvas game, you created the jQuery game, and the third one was kind of your own choice. You will score pretty well on this project. Your site should look attractive. There should be kind of a color theme and a scheme so that it looks cohesive. Your code should be correct, no errors. And it is a good idea to put comments in the code for anything that you think may confuse people. Very important that the final version is free of bugs. And for students that go above and beyond, I will give them actually more points than the total. So above and beyond to me is you've done multiple levels, the levels increase in difficulty. So this project does not require multiple levels. So for any of you that go above and beyond like that, you will get extra points. So again, academic integrity, it has to be your own work. So make sure that you don't plagiarize, that if you've looked at a tutorial to figure something out, when you incorporate it, you need to have your own variables. You need to put your own twist on it. Okay? You cannot plagiarize. So that is kind of the broad scope of the project. For the proposal, which is due this week. This is going to be pretty generic. Okay, I just need to know what 3 games are you planning for the final project? And then I just need a little summary of each game. And it doesn't even have to be a full paragraph. Okay. When you do this, it's not like you're locked into those 3 games. It is okay as you're going through the course if you decide to change one. Okay? I just want to know what you're initially thinking of so that I have an idea of scope. Okay, so just give me a brief summary of each of the games and what you're thinking of now. It doesn't mean that you're locked into this for the entire semester. So if you decide to change one, not a problem. So that proposal is due this week. The term project milestone is not due for a couple weeks, but you can actually start working on it now. And this is going to be an HTML5 CSS3 game interface. So there is no jQuery or JavaScript in this unless you want to add it. So I would never mark you down for doing more than the minimum. Okay? But the minimum is HTML5 CSS3 game interface. So your games are not going to be developed yet, but you should have some kind of a menu system that allows you to select each of the games, and then on each of the game pages or game spaces, depending on how you set this up, you should just have the name of the game and indicate that it's under development or coming soon. Okay. Your interface needs to be mobile friendly, and you should include a README text file. And basically that text file should have copyright information, reproduction information, and give you an overview of the site, kind of similar to the proposal that you submitted to me. Make sure your interface is designed well, easy to navigate, and aesthetically pleasing. I've had students create it so that the menus take you to different pages for the games. And I've also had students kind of create a little tab system where different sections of that same page display. So it's totally up to you how you set this up. Okay, so when you click the games, it should have the name of the game, a little description, and say that it's under development or coming soon. And that's pretty much all you need for this. So basically that interface is going to be completely developed. So you are going to have to figure out like what your theme is, what your colors are, that kind of thing. Okay, and so this is how you are going to be graded on this interface. This is not due for several weeks, but it is a good idea to start thinking about it, start thinking about a theme, colors, all that kind of stuff. If you have questions, or if you are even wondering if some of the games you're thinking of are feasible, or maybe if they're too hard, just throw me an email and I'll take a look and I'll let you know what I think.